Somewhere on this planet, right now, there is an animal capable of dragging a fully grown bison into a tree. Alone. No pack, no backup, no one to call for help. It does this in silence, using nothing but muscle, patience, and a kind of intelligence we still don't fully understand. Now ask yourself something strange. Why has that animal never been a dog? Why, in 10,000 years of evolution, across every continent on Earth, has nature built lions, tigers, jaguars, leopards, apex predators that hunt completely alone, but never once built a 2,000-pound solitary wolf? Something is stopping it. And once you understand what, you'll never look at a house cat, a Labrador, or even yourself the same way again. Let's start with the obvious question: size. Dogs come from wolves. Wolves are big. Some of them push past 175 pounds. So biologically, there's no reason a big dog couldn't exist. Cats, on the other hand, split early. Some stayed small. Some became 500-pound killing machines with retractable claws and jaws that can crush bone like dry wood. So the size isn't the mystery. The mystery is behavior. Because here's the thing, almost nobody says out loud. Big cats are almost always solitary. Big dogs, wolves, African wild dogs, hyenas, are almost always social. And in nature, those two traits don't usually mix well at large body size. Something about being alone and being enormous creates a kind of evolutionary trap. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. To survive as a massive solitary predator, you need an ambush strategy. You need stealth. You need the psychological patience to wait, sometimes for days, for one perfect, silent kill. Tigers do this. Leopards do this. Even the biggest cats specialize in precision, not stamina. But wolves don't wait. Wolves pursue. And pursuit predators can't afford to be enormous, because a huge, heavy body burns through energy fast. And endurance chasing over open ground punishes size mercilessly. So cats got heavy and quiet. Dogs stayed lighter and loud. But then something strange happened. Something that changes the entire story. Wolves did have a way to become giants. They had cooperation. A pack doesn't need one animal to be a 2,000-pound killing machine. It needs 6, 8, 12 animals working as a single organism. A hive mind built from muscle, teeth, and trust. That's the secret. Dogs didn't need to be big. They needed to be many. And that single evolutionary decision, solitary power versus collective power, split two branches of predator into two completely different philosophies of survival. One chose isolation. One chose unity. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. That split isn't just biological, it's psychological. Solitary predators like big cats develop something eerily specific: heightened sensory processing, exceptional patience, and an almost obsessive independence. They don't need social bonds to survive. They need silence, timing, and control. Pack predators like wolves develop something else entirely: complex communication, emotional bonding, hierarchy, and cooperative problem-solving. One evolved to dominate alone. The other evolved to dominate together. And when scientists look at brain structures linked to social cognition, wolves consistently show heavier development in regions tied to group coordination and emotional signaling. Big cats didn't need that wiring. They needed something colder. But here's where the story turns unsettling. Because humans didn't domesticate the animal that hunts alone. We domesticated the one that needed us. Wolves already had the social blueprint for hierarchy, loyalty, and cooperative labor. All humans had to do was slot ourselves into that structure. As the new alpha, the new pack. That's why dogs bond with humans instinctively. That's why they read our faces, our tone, our emotions with terrifying accuracy. They were built for connection. Big cats were never going to fit that role, not because they're less intelligent, but because their intelligence was never built for submission. It was built for control of solitary space. You cannot tame an animal whose entire psychology is engineered around independence. And this is where the story stops being about animals. Because right now, somewhere inside you, this same split exists. Every human carries both instincts. The wolf instinct, the pull toward belonging, tribe, connection, the comfort of being part of something larger than yourself. And the tiger instinct, the pull toward solitude, self-reliance, silence, the terrifying freedom of depending on no one. Modern life constantly tries to force you into one category. Be a team player, network, collaborate, belong. Or be independent, grind alone, trust no one, build your own empire in silence. But evolution already answered this question for us millions of years ago, through claws and fur and blood. Neither strategy is superior. They're just different solutions to the same terrifying problem. How do you survive in a world that will kill you the moment you stop paying attention? Wolves solved it by never being alone. Tiger solved it by never needing anyone. And somewhere in your own life, you've probably felt both pulls. The ache for connection and the addictive comfort of isolation. The question is which one you trust. Here's the uncomfortable part. Pack animals gain incredible power through numbers, but they also inherit vulnerability. Remove the pack, and a single wolf's survival odds fall sharply. Its strength was never truly its own. It was borrowed from the group. Solitary predators never have that problem. But they pay for it in a different currency. Loneliness isn't a bug in their design. It's the price of power. Every tiger that has ever lived, has lived, and hunted, and died, almost entirely alone. No pack to mourn it. No group to remember it existed. That's the trade nature makes. Unmatched individual strength in exchange for absolute isolation. And somewhere, underneath all the philosophy and biology, there's a quiet, uncomfortable question sitting at the center of this entire video. If you had to choose right now, strength through others or strength through solitude, which one would keep you alive? And which one would keep you human? There are no big dogs roaming alone through the wilderness, because evolution already tried that experiment, and it failed. Power without connection collapses. Connection without independence suffocates. Nature didn't choose one. It built two answers, walking on four legs, on opposite ends of the same terrifying question. And maybe that's the real reason this topic feels so strangely personal. Because somewhere between the lion in the grass and the wolf in the pack is you, still deciding which one you are.